feel awful coming out from that game. This is after full time now. Newcastle won 3-0. Of course, because of that result, it means that Ipswich Town have been relegated here at St James's Park. And even after the game, the opposition fans are still just coming over to the boy Robson statue, taking a few photographs, enjoying the experience here in Newcastle across this weekend. Oh, and I feel so bad for them all. I wish it wasn't us that sat them down today. That's one of my feeling coming out from this game today. So it's a bit of a different video. It's going to be a bit more, directed towards Ipswich Town, but it's still essentially a match vlog. Hello, mate, right? We'll talk a bit more about the game. At the end, we'll go through the game and what I liked and what perhaps I didn't like. But ultimately, Newcastle got the results there. We needed 3 points. We've done that. And today, show some respect to a club that, of course, has a very deep connection with Newcastle, of course, with Sir Bobby Robson. And a club as well, which I will speak on a personal level, that will clash with us when we were down on Portman Road across December. Very accommodating for Newcastle fans. We were a friendly atmosphere. And they were nice. They were nice people. And I feel bad, but Premier League is ruthless. And ultimately, they have deserved to go down this season. But let's show you the day now. Show you the opposition fans. Let's show some respect to them. And let's hope that they'll be potentially coming back in the Premier League very soon.
Right, I'm Alex Griffin. I do videos for Ipswich Town, and we're here at St James's Park, ready for the big one.
And I feel like perhaps the appropriate way to start is a bit of reflection on, your season back in the Premier League now. I know it's tough. I know you guys are going to go down, let's be honest. Obviously, it could happen today, maybe a bit sooner, but I guess my first question being is just how has it been this season? How has it been being back in the Premier League?
Well, I'm 25 years old and it's the first time I've ever seen Ipswich in the Premier League. So, to be honest, mate, it's been I've been pinching myself all the way through the season because it's not really felt real. To watch Ipswich Town in the biggest, arguably the biggest league in the world, it's just been absolutely amazing. I am going to be gutted when we do go down, which I think we'll probably be today. Hopefully we bounce back up. But, mate, to answer your question, it's just been such a roller coaster season. There's been so many highs. Well, not that many highs. There's been a fair few highs, a lot of lows, but that's what football's all about.
Okay, well, we're kind of going into this game now. I mean, obviously Newcastle, I think you guys know earlier in the season, is obviously a very tough team to play against. I think St James's Park as well for any away ground. I guess what's your feelings going into it today? Have you got any form of optimism?
I'd like to see us score, but no, I don't think we'll win today. If I'm being brutally honest, I think Newcastle are a massive club, amazing fans. You're on such a high at the moment after winning the Carabao Cup. I mean, you're going for Champions League football as well, so there's still lots to play for yourselves. And for us to stay up, I think it's too much of an arse now. In terms of a prediction, I'm going to go for a 3-2 Newcastle. I think there's going to be a lot of goals. I've got a feeling we're going to score. Liam Delap might get a goal today. Best of luck to you, and
Appreciate it, thank you so much. And one final question just before you head off. Will we see you guys back soon? Do you think you've got a chance next season to come straight back up?
I'm going to be honest. I think we're going to bounce back up straight away. Next season, we're going to win the league.
Oh, free beer. No, he's just talking to him.
He's accepts up. Right, guys down there. Come on. Right, we need to score that one. That will be all time now. Come on. Much needed goal. It's 2-0. They're going down. They're still chanting to be fair to them. And that is it. The bottom three are now all officially down. Match week 35 was the weakest Ipswich Town went down. There we have it. Full time, Newcastle United 3, Ipswich Town 0. And as always, we discuss the opposition first, and in this case, the opposition fans. That's it. The final team of the 3 that has went down. Match week 35, it's took Ipswich Town, but let's be honest, it is probably the worst relegation battle ever. All 3 teams that have went down have deserved to go down, and it's a legitimate problem the Premier League has, because now every team that gets promoted from the Championship, none of them stand a chance. There's a massive disparity in terms of competitiveness from the Championship to the Premier League, and for any team coming up now, that is such a hard task. And yet again, that's 2 seasons in a row, all the newly promoted teams have went back down, and I have to say, for the away fans, they were brilliant today. They were really good. They went here, they clearly wanted to enjoy themselves. I think deep down they knew they were going to lose the games. They kind of came here today, take it all in, to enjoy the occasion, and of course come to a big grand at St James's Park. Now, in terms of their performance, you know what, right? That first half, bear in mind the red card was a massive change in the game. Where was that Ipswich Town team this season? Where was that this season? Because I'm telling you now, they play like that every single week, especially in that first half. They were a tricky team. It was a very frustrating game for us, from my point of view as Newcastle fans sitting there. I was infuriated watching that first half, and that was a real credit for them, because before the red card, they had control in that game. They didn't really create much, but they were annoying Newcastle. And I tell you what, the more that game went on, I would have fancied them to do well today, but the red card was a massive game changer. Fair play to all them though, seriously fair play to them. Again, the way end was actually full. All the fans came here, they loved every second of it, and for Premier League away ends, it's probably one of the best I've seen at St James's Park this season. They clearly had a good time, and they're a real classy bunch. Obviously, Bobby Robson, we knew before the game, I've shown you little clips before the game. Bobby Robson connections. It was a very emotional game. I felt like around the end of the first half, started to get into it quite a lot, especially at the end of the game, seeing Newcastle fans, Ipswich fans actually just clap each other off. I mean, I felt horrible. I felt horrible seeing the end of the game, because it's such a lovely bunch of people, and they had such a nice time down Portman Road back in December. It was a pleasure being down there over the Christmas period. But they were always going to go down. Let's be honest, their team's just not good enough. There's not much quality in there. You take Delap and a couple of other players out of that team, there's just not really a Premier League team there. I think it's reflected in the season, and I mean, not the best of the bunch, I suppose, in terms of the bottom 3, but that's just not saying much. It really isn't. And we're going into the end of the first half. Newcastle obviously got a massive pen. I mean, you're talking 6 VAR checks throughout that game, 6 checks. I mean, they might almost be pleased to be without VAR next season, because my God, VAR was absolutely all over the place there. It wasn't a great game. It was a very frustrating game. And Newcastle got a pen towards the end of the first half. To be honest, I think Newcastle were going to score at some point. Honestly, how the ball stayed out of the back of the net for most of that first half, I will never know. We did get the pen towards the end of the first half. If that makes it 1-0 for that point onwards. We just had control there. 2-0, 3-0. It probably could have been more, but again, for us, it's just getting over the line. Massive game for Champions League football against Brighton next week. Today was just seeing the game out, getting the 3 points, making sure everything's all right for next week. Usula, we've got to talk about him, because he got a big goal today. That's his first ever, believe it or not, that's his first ever, not only Premier League goal, but he's never scored at Championship level. The highest competitive league he scored at before today was actually League One. He's never scored in the Championship, he's never scored in the Premier League. I mean, it's mad when you think about it, because he's played a lot of games in the Premier and the Championship. But got off the mark today. Absolute bullet header, proper centre forward header. Shiro would have been proud of a header like that, but top quality goal for him. He clearly took the opportunity when he came off the bench, but for the rest of Newcastle's team today, it was just fairly comfortable. Got it over the line, got it over and done with, but the real story today was them, because I thought they were class today. Came here, I gave it our all. Yeah, it was always a season that was never going to go their way, but they clearly enjoy being in the Premier League, and especially, it may sound mental saying as a Newcastle fan, but we were there 10 years ago. You've got to remember Newcastle went down more or less at Villa Park back in 2016. It wasn't confirmed till a couple of days later, but I remember being at Villa Park and I just felt sick coming out from the game. Sat there, 4-hour coach the way back home. I just sat there, just thinking about everything. It's a horrible feeling, it really is. So they unfortunately not only see that today. I think Newcastle over the past 4 seasons, I think we've sent 3 teams down now. We sent Sheffield United down last season, I remember correctly. Last game of the season a few years back, we sent Burnley down. It's almost a bit of a seasonal occasion now where teams either come to St James's Park or we're going somewhere. And well, unfortunately, the team that's putting our clubs down, I don't like to say it, but that's a harsh reality of football. You've got to play well week in, week out. They haven't this season. They had a good first half today. A red card, I mean, what a stupid red card that is, by the way. Dive first yellow card, on a yellow card already. Holds the player's arm back. What are you doing? Ipswich had control of the game. They were doing well. Hell, they could have even maybe potentially snatched that game in the second half if they changed the tactics up. But that red card was an absolute killer for the game. Bad game management and little stupid mistakes like that. You filter that in throughout an entire season, they've dropped a lot of points, and that's why they're going down. And if we can come out in this video now, we can say best luck, we can say all these nice words, but yeah, football's ruthless. You've got to be ready week in, week out. We have to be ruthless as well. If Newcastle want Champions League football, we need that killer instinct. We need to put every single one of these teams in front of it, and we need to beat a lot of them. We can't do that. Brighton is massive next week. It is a huge game for us. Today though, well done boys. I'm pleased with our performance. Best of luck at Ipswich next season. Obviously we'll look to see he's back in the Premier League. I've had a real pleasure being down at Portman Road, but I'll have one final message for the away fans here. Get 6 points against Sunderland next season. Do us the favour, get the double over them. I don't think Sunderland are going to come up. I'm still willing to back them, losing in the playoffs, but yeah, fair play to them. They were class today, gave it all. It just wasn't to be. They just deserve to go down this season. That's the most honest answer I can give you. But take care. We'll see these hopefully in the future at St James's Park. Wish you all the best though, and we will see you all in the next one.